Thank you, Cindy. Bless you, darling. Sometimes at night, the only way to see them is by the power flashes or the lightning. Pray for everybody in Sulphur. I can relate, Cindy. We'll talk about that tonight. Ooh, good. I love lightning shots. Now these poor people. We're gonna have to rebuild. My email doesn't work for me either. I'll explain that later. Alright, let's get on with the show. Alright, folks. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. I was just chatting to somebody in the chat room there during the intro. Let me get rid of that music right off the bat. Okay. Alright, well, while we're waiting here, take a moment to thank all of you guys for being here. Take a moment, your precious time, to be with this precious family and enjoy a... just please, can we get to the solar report? How about just some solar? There we go. All right, so here we are, 428.24. Here's your loop playing real quick. I'll let that little loop play. Doesn't look like much going on in there. There's our long duration, moderate duration CME. Not long, but not a quick impulsive one either. Coming off right up here, okay? And then that was a little break in the data there. And then really not much to pause and go through. But what I want to do here, let's hold on to that, and let's come on over to the solar ham here. And you can see here's today's. And what I wanted to do real quick here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so today's activity didn't look like much, but you can see we had kind of a bumpy ride. And now going into the next day, we've had this medium duration M flare here. So let's go back real quick and see if we can take a peek into tomorrow. There's that, but I want every last frame. Okay, so let's take a peek already into tomorrow's medium duration M flare right there, coming off this region over here, and we'll get into that into the in the articles tonight. All right, bear with me. I'm very sore and very tired. I know some of you can relate, so thanks for being patient and tolerant. All right, so there's a little peek into tomorrow's activity. It looks like we had a little cluster of some objects. Seems like they're... Look at this one move up. You see that? They kind of come out in a 3-pack, and this third one kind of moves up. Am I tripping or what? Oh, that second one's doing it too. Oh, yeah. All right, something new there. Never seen that before. What appears maybe is happening here. Might have a bigger object back here. These trailing moons, they get pulled down by the sun's magnetic field as they approach, say, the whole object in 4 moons approach, right? They all get tugged into the sun, kind of magnetically compressed, and then when they release, some of them release back up to their magnetic hold on the bigger object that would be up here, maybe. This one still kind of releasing straight, but that would explain that shift. These objects going from this trajectory and turning and going up, almost as if snapping back into their magnetic placement around a bigger object here. They got tugged out of place as they interacted with the sun, and then when the magnetic release happened, they snapped back into their magnetic configuration with a bigger object back here, possibly. I don't. I'll let you guys be the judge of that as well. All right. But here we can see two of those are obviously coming out and going up. Let's slow this down a little bit here because okay. So yeah, explain that, NASA, how you're, if this is a magnetic pocket or whatever your explanation for these black spheroids is, how come they changed direction and adjusted to a different magnetic configuration? Well, how did they adjust? What are they doing there? To me, it looks like they're readjusting to a pre-magnetic configuration on whatever bigger objects back here. It's out of frame. It's not, well, it's not interacting with all the plasma, so it's not draping over our big object. It would be kind of back out frame out of here, and these would be the little satellites around it. They get tugged in by the sun, magnetically drawn in, and then when they repel, the whole thing pushes away. Like I said, they snap back into their placement. And that third one could possibly already be in its placement and it didn't move. But something's going on there. Wouldn't you say? I mean, you guys have been here a while and we've seen a lot of different activity on this instrument, and now we're seeing something new again. A couple eyes and a nose. I don't know. We'll get into that stuff later, but there's a peek already into tomorrow at this event right here. So there's our little X goes report right there for the moment. Now, I want to come over here and point out these indices. We're back in the green level over here. We're down to 140 finally over here and 119, so that's good. We're kind of back down to normal here, sea level. Cruising along at C 1.8 right now. So anyways, we have M flare 35%, X flare 5%. We have these 4M flares, 2.1, 3.1, 2.5, and 3.7. Diminishing a number of sunspots now. We're getting lower and lower on the count. We still have this one right now that's hella dangerous. It went beta, gamma, delta. All right, that configuration. You know what? Let's take that X flare potential and bump it up to 10 or 15 because of beta, gamma, delta configuration. All right. Whenever we see this kind of configuration, you can take that 5% and throw it out the window and adjust it a little higher. I pray I'm wrong. Okay. All right, let's get on over here. Our KP index. So we did take on some energy that was off the page over here, that yellow spike. Then it tapered off. This smaller little chunk of energy that we absorbed, but now we are really tapering off and petering out down to below 1. So our space weather coming off the sun is very, very calm right now. The auroras are really quiet. So we're not absorbing a bunch of energy right now, which is good. Okay, so here's our article for today. A secondary and somewhat stronger M flare reaching 3.7 was detected around 3654 on the 29th. That's what we just looked at, okay? The coronal hole dimming is slightly evident in the last imagery, courtesy of the SDO, meaning a weak coronal mass ejection may be generated. This will only be confirmed once updated coronagraph imagery, but further update will be provided necessary. You see the position that it's at. It's still on the Earth-facing side of the disk, right? Right? It's almost magnetically connected at our magnetic connection point right there. So if there is solar energy coming off of it, we're going to get a little taste of it. If we can see it, we're going to get a taste of it. We'll get sideswiped or whatever. Hopefully it's not just a straight-on direct shot. Solar activity on Saturday was moderate. Yeah, we did that one already. Let's see real quick here. Is this one even worth opening? No, not really, because it's showing something but way down here. Let's give it a shot. I got another one to open up anyway, so let's get her done. Okay. I just opened this last one. All right, here it is right in there. Okay, that shows impact with Earth around the second. Not a big old violent one, but some kind of impact here coming up around the second. Just one more pass through this. Okay, so boom, right there on the second. All right, let's get out of there. Back up one more. And, also, so we had this event hit, and then we also had absorption from that as well. So let's come over here to the D layer region and start this little. Oh, wait, I already had a pause there. So I'll go back a little bit. There's the beginning of the movie. So, right, boom. There's like a double impact. See this slight little flare up, and then boom, there's our secondary one, right? Right about there. All right, so, and it had a little effect. It knocked out some communications for a minute. So there's our little slight and then main shot right there. So a little double impact. And that's all absorption. And you know I'm a stickler for absorption. So we get back here. There's your absorption. There's your long spike. It's if we saw it on the absorption map, then whatever CME coming off of it will probably come our direction. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, let's see right here. Here's 3654 and the region that it's at, the location that it's at right here. Okay, and it's rotating around out of the strike zone here pretty soon, but right before it goes, it gives us a good shot right there. Okay, now let's get on over here. Okay, so Earth-directed solar flares, active sunspot region 3654 is crackling with M-class solar flares. The Earth-directed eruptions are causing shortwave radio blackouts at frequencies below 20 megahertz. Hey, we're at 7.83. So blackouts at frequencies below 20. Do you guys feel like you had a blackout today? Maybe it was because of these frequencies. Because the Earth-directed eruptions are causing shortwave radio blackouts at frequencies below 20 megahertz. All right. Most recent flares and M3 class events wiped out shortwave radio transmissions throughout much of the Pacific Ocean. So 12P is still the brightest comet in the sky, and last week 12P made its closest approach to the sun in 71 years. Sunlight made it practically impossible for background or for ground-based observers to watch 12P's perihelion because it was right next to the sun. But now the comet is emerging from the glare and photographed by Stroth. Cool. So you'll be able to see here pretty soon in the sky again. And it made its perihelion and didn't get wiped out behind the sun. It has a lot of beautiful structure in its tail, probably caused by the buffering of the solar wind. Until now, 12P was the northern hemisphere's object position post-perihelion. It will transition to the south now. Okay, so no longer will you see it in the northern hemisphere. Now you'll see it in the southern. Oh, little thing of our impact right there. Okay. All right, let's get on over here to the human. Oh, dear Lord. No wonder why I felt like that. All right, well, I'll let you guys take a peek at that for a minute. And, boy, I don't know if you were experiencing a lot of pain and confusion, and how about let's just call it straight up irritation. Were you guys irritable today? Just wondering. Anyways, we've had quite the little grinding session right here. A pulse, stop, pretty intense pulse, lower pulse, intense pulse, stop, another grind, boom, stop, weakening, and then intense again. So, welcome back to the roller coaster ride. And it's, well, it has all kinds of side effects. There's a little refresh just to show you right now. This is also an indicator of pressure down below. All right, so I'm gonna take a second here to talk about the pain and well, you guys are irritable, experience of pain, and you're very sensitive. And let's see, you got this spiritual versus physical tug of war going on inside of you. And well, it can wear you out sometimes. Well, we'll get to that in the spiritual part. We'll overcome that, but there's these frequencies are not helping. All right. And this is the core and the shell grinding together, producing these low frequencies at extreme intensity. All right. White denotes the intensity of said frequency. So frequencies from what? This line right here, 20 going across. So basically 20 through 0 were very intense for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for 8 hours right there. And then right before that, we had 8 hours of nothing. But right before those 8 hours, it was this block. So it just goes and then stops and then goes and then stops. So it's, well, it's like riding on a boat in the sea, going up and down and up and down. You got to kind of grow some sea legs and get used to this ebb and flow of well, pain and irritation, and this, the effect that this has on you physically, mentally. Well, then that happens to affect you spiritually. So frequency buttons pushed. Yeah. Well, that's what happens to the people that live victoriously. Anyways, there's your Schumann for the current conditions right now. We have a lot of pressure built up. The core, the shell, and grinding. Now, let's come on over here to the solar. What's going on here? Let's have some SO2. All right, let me refresh it then. Yeah, today was like a wow, spiritual warfare. Okay, you guys are experiencing it now too, huh? Spiritual warfare throughout the course of your day, and you're just worn out sometimes from a day of battle. And I know I can feel it. Mine are very intense, to say the least. Anyways, let's get on with that. We'll get into that in the spiritual part of the show. Here at the SO2, still, we got a lot coming out around China, India, all of Europe. Okay, come back over here. And here's America. Country divided. One side bleeding out, the other side going, clearing up. Hopefully, you guys have been noticing that these storms are taking the path of the eclipse. Look at a lot of these sites right here in the path of that eclipse. It's no coincidence. All right, so pressure's maxing out. We got a lot of pressure down here at Java, especially at this tip of the peninsula. I mean, you can see a basic purple spot right here at the very tip right there. So these two volcanoes right here spewing out a lot of SO2. And we've had quakes in that region lately, relieving pressure as well. Excuse me. Come here, over there. Okay, fulcrum point, nice and defined. The other ones are still hanging in there. That one's a little dark. Let's take a little peek here. It's a little more updated. So that's a little more updated right there. Okay, so we still got lots of pressure going on down below, coming out of different regions as well. Okay, so bingo was his name. Oh, now moving on to the ocean. SSTA, no currents, but we have to back up here. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Still very intense around Japan in this area. Got a lot of heat coming off the ocean floor, heating the water in that area, and it's not Fukushima. It's it's from pressure out there. I think there was a quake there today. Now, over here at Taiwan, look at the straits here. Remember it was bright yellow yesterday, how it's calmed down in this area now? Okay, so we come to check these every day just to denote the difference in colorization. Take note of pressure differences over the course of a week or a day or so. And then out here, of course, we have Tamumasi going crazy. A lot of heat coming out of that region right there in the water. And just to kind of show you that this is what the water temperatures are supposed to be like. Okay, that's hot water that's down here still at the equator just south of it because they're still coming out of their summertime. They're going into fall. All right, we're going into spring. We're in spring, they're in fall. So all that hot water is transferring from the southern up into the northern hemisphere here, where this is where warm water resides, that part of the world, and you can see the transfer right there coming from southern hemisphere up to the northern hemisphere as we change seasons. You don't see that kind of stuff up here off the coast of Japan. That's cold water. So when we come over to these temperature anomalies and we see shit like this happening, it's not good. All right. What is good is there's lack of or a little release around Taiwan there. It's not as bright yellow as it was the other night. Okay, so, but still up here. Now, what else we're going to do here, Lord? We're going to do, oh, yeah. Oh, wait, first I want the air currents at 850. Then we'll do the particulates and the dig, which is the sand. The dig. Oh, good Lord. Wow. Okay, so there's your ongoing sandstorms here. Let me just put a little wind in there. And you can see that swirling sand here is getting caught up and being brought up here via the wind all the way up into Europe, the Black Sea, crossing parts of the Mediterranean right there, circling back around, coming down here, putting a wall of sand over Oman and Yemen again. So another sandstorm going on right down here again for these guys. As well as we got another sandstorm on the other side of the Caspian Sea now, and this one going off in the Gobi Desert. So 1, 2, buckle your shoe. 3, 4, open the door. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a lot of sand in the air, my friend. Something's wrong. We're not supposed to be having sandstorms in the springtime. This is, fall, late summer and fall that we see this activity. So what also I need to point out here is I talk a lot about the volcanic ash being particulates that water droplets adhere to, right? Well, not only do we have a bunch of ash in the air, but we have a bunch of sand as well. So, I mean, we have just like every little thing that could possibly add to the more particulates in the air is going on. And it's just going to make the air a sloppy mess of water. The potential for the air to hold a lot more water now. So your average storm that comes through, like the ones we're seeing, instead of laying down 1 or 2 inches of rain and moving on, they train over each other and, drop 15, 20 inches of rain and just flood things out. It's not good. Okay, so sand we did. The SO2 we did, yes. I think we're good there. Now let's get on over to our earthquakes now. Let these pull up here. Okay, so as we get into our report here, we'll start. Most of our deep quake region is here. And let's see what this was right here. This is a 5.2, but it's down at 168. So it's not a deep quake. It's only like a third of the way down or whatever. So 5.2 subsurface quake. Here we have a 4.6 at the surface on a boundary. So boundary quake, mid-range 4, relieving energy on a boundary plate. Nothing through the system right here. Very quiet through there, wouldn't you say? Look how just naked all that is. Very, very quiet. Here we've had a 4.7. That's at the surface. That's energy being released at the surface. Over here at Taiwan. I want to make sure that was our only quake. All right, so we had several here yesterday. Now we only have 2. A 4.1 down at 35 and a 4.4 down at 38. So these are Subsurface quakes again. They're not right up close to the surface, so only 2 of them as opposed to how many we saw yesterday, and their magnitude has lowered as well. So we saw the coloration, the pressure, not release, but diminish in that area, as well as our quakes have diminished. Still the last little bit of pressure popping out, the last few little bubbles of pressure popping out of there. All right, here we are up by Japan. This is where our hot water is. 4.6 down at 23. And up here as well, 4.6 down at, that's at 23. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Same magnitude, same depth. I want timestamps now. Wow. So they're 10 hours apart. Same magnitude at the same depth right here, right around our hotspot right there. Get this back to the water again. It's important that we flip back to this every once in a while. I know you guys don't need it sometimes, but okay, see, this region goes from the tip of this part of Japan, that's Tokyo and everything right there, past the North Island up into the Kuril Islands here a little bit, okay? So when we come back, see, that's right there up at that part, that tip of that yellow spot. It goes from the tip of this island to there. And we've had 2 quakes in that region, 4.6 down at 23, and another 4.6 down at the same level 10 hours later. Amazing. That's cookie cutter textbook case right there. I mean, it couldn't be 4.7, 4, and then those 2 identical ones. And look how quiet it is over here. Fulcrum point, we're like in one of those magnetic locks again. Oh, we finally had a bunch of release here. Look at all these here in South America. This is like more than we see in a usual day. 4.3 at 118. Now, these depths over here, you got to remember we're under mountain ranges here. So 4.9, 116, 4.1, 112, 4.5, 111. Come here, you. 4.2, 198. That one's a little deeper. Give me this one, please. And 4.3 at 195. These are just a tad bit deeper, but all of this is really energy kind of struggling to be released at the surface. Really thick crust right here, so it's hard for quakes to break at the surface with all this really thick plate right here. So if it's not right on the boundary and it's on land, it has a tendency to be a little lower in this area. For South America, in that little section right there at least. Rarely do we see a surface quake on these ones because of just because of the crustal thickness there. Let's get over here real quick. Over here off our fulcrum point, where our pressure ridges build up here. 4.6 at the surface, that's relieving tension, that's relieving energy at the surface. 4.2 down at 122. We got really thick, tough terrain there. 4.3 at 6, that's even closer to the surface. So mid-range 4 energy popping off at boundary points, fulcrum points. Even off the coast of Yemen and Oman here, we got a 4.4 down at 10. So, alrighty, let's get this one too. Oh, Watchwoman, you're awesome. I'm so happy for you that you got those photos. I bet you feel different now, huh? Thought maybe it wasn't quite sure if it was real or not until you capture your own. 4.6 right here on the three-way junction of the plate boundary. Why is the water by Japan so hot? Because magma is pushing up to the underside of the crust right there. And any perforations in the crust, which means holes, gaps, seams, any kind of the crust isn't like totally sealed up waterproof rubber. It has perforations and holes all through it. And when we have pressure from down below that builds up and the core and the shell heat up and expand, well, they heat up the magma, which is molten metal. So it's molten. When it heats up more, it expands and wants to expand outward. Well, it can't because there's a crust around the planet holding that magma in. So when that pressure builds, it wants to escape through the crust via the path of least resistance. Any kind of perforation in the crust, old, new, man-made. Sometimes we drill and we make perforations in the crust. And we get activity like, well, stuff that happens around here because of holes we've put in the crust, reaching down into the magma regions. So when pressure down there wants to rise, expand outward and upward towards the surface, it hits the underside of the crust and pushes up through there, creating, here's your perforations right here. There's probably a volcanic vent on the ocean floor right there, spewing some kind of lava or hot water coming out of that vent right there. And let me put this on here real quick. I want you guys to put the currents. That was a great question. I love great questions, and I don't want you to sound like I'm lecturing you as far as an answer. I'm trying to be just direct, and that's how I answer sometimes. So, or if it was due to the water being released back into the water from the power plant quake. Now that could be as well. All right, but it wouldn't create this much. All right. And let's put this current back on here. Okay, we have it going. Okay, you see this main little curly Q current takes some of this water away from, Taiwan, goes up here, goes by cool water. So the water feeding into this region, the source for the water going into that region comes out of here where it's warm, turns hot. Then when it comes out of this part, look, it doesn't come out white hot. You follow this. This isn't all yellow. It's up here. These are their own little regions, their own little hot spots. And when warm water rises, cold water sinks, and it creates vortexes of its own. Out here, you see this spot, for example? See a little vortex spinning around it? Because the heat from that water rising versus the cold water sinking has caused a spiral current. It's much like a tornado. Same way a tornado works, but in water. Basically. If you knew what you were really looking at, you would swallow hard and turn this show off. So let's move on, shall we? Back to our earthquakes. I think we covered them all, really, basically. I wanted to touch on this one real quick right here. This is 4.0 in Turkey. We need more energy release in this area here. And we had this one on the three-way junction point. All right. Just real quick, I want to take a peek at all day one magnitude, all magnitudes. This isn't, yeah, this is still our little spot next to New York. Okay. Just checking in. It's not much. It's nothing to get worried about. It's just the fact that it still has a little pinprick means it's one of the places that vents energy still, or is still a weak spot. Um, the water that does come out of Fukushima, we call it hot water because it's also atomically hot. It has hot particles in it, like it's radioactive water, and has been, well, pretty much killing off the Pacific Ocean for a while now. Nobody ever bothered to come clean on that one or try to fix it or anything. They just kind of, whoa, sweep that one under the rug, move on, nothing to see here. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, I think that was the end of our forecast there. So let me get rid of some of these. Boom. I love those great questions. And you can be the judge of that as well. Okay, that's my experience. That's my application. You can do your research on your own as well and come to your own, well, theory or application for what you see as well. Okay, I'm just trying to, well, from my experience. Okay. Now, here we are. This is our current conditions, our setup for our storm that was currently going on. Let me pop open Venture Sky just real quick here to you guys. I'm sorry. I didn't want to have too many instruments open because it jams up the show. And it only takes a second longer to open them than to sit there with a blank screen for 15 minutes. Please, Lord. Oh, no. Wait, that's not the right one. I don't know why Yahoo's getting all happy there, just loading up their own. I'm not on Yahoo. They just help themselves, don't they? All right, let me get over here to our radar. Okay, so current conditions, we have this squall line down here in southern Texas. This is one I was monitoring not too long ago. We did have a separation in this squall line. Now, it was all one kind of piece, and now we've seen kind of a break where we're having a segment up here and an independent segment down here with its own little squall line of, intense thunderstorms on the leading edge here, as well as up here. Now, let's get back to, that's our current conditions right there. So going through the night into the morning, there's your morning hours right there. Still intense through Arkansas, up into Illinois now, catching the corner of Missouri there, reaching down into Louisiana and Texas there. Now, let me see here if we can get this weather app to cooperate here, and we can take a look at some really close current conditions and just monitor, see if there's any kind of tornado balance or tornado warnings or anything going on at this very moment. It seems that maybe we have had, well, a little bit of cap, what they call a cap on the cloud tops can only get so high. But we are still experiencing some very, very powerful thunderstorms. And, all right, let's get this pulled up right here. All right, I'm going to try to show you this. Current conditions down in Texas. This is by Brian and College Station. This green area up there at the upper left was like a hose today, just all kinds of moisture coming out of that one little region. And do you see how all these little things are firing off down here and traveling up north? Let me just pull back a little bit more there for you. All right, so we have some very dangerous weather at this moment. It's not no tornado boxes at the moment, but at any time it can be. Are the poles rising? No, the poles aren't rising. We might be going through a polar shift here pretty soon. If the sun does, we could possibly follow. But the poles themselves don't like rise and fall. That's an interesting question. But the water up there sometimes rises and falls due to our moon and the currents, but the pole itself. Now, maybe what you're asking is moving, like moving southerly or northernly, like rising and falling that way, maybe. And yeah, our poles, well, constantly are on the move and have been wobbling back and forth for several years now. That's a great question. It's been a long couple of days of storming, and I will be ready for some sunshine. Yeah, I'm ready for some sunshine here too. I, you know, we're gonna do a transcendental meditation one of these days of taking a break on a tropical beach because I'm ready for a vacation on a tropical beach where I can take a nap in the sun, where it's nice and warm. Some seagulls in the background. Oh, we'll get there when we get there. Whoa, what happened there? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, back to normal here. What is going on there? Help me, Lord. There it goes. All right, back to normal here. All right. Moving on with the weather. Sorry, I get a little sidetracked there. So, current conditions right now, we are going into the morning hours right there with severe weather starting to blossom up. That stuff I showed you down in Texas right there, still going on. Then as we go into the noontime, you see it divide there and split. We already have a split from this northern part and this part. Now we're going to see a split in the southern part where this part dives down and that goes up. That's what I was trying to show you on that, was the upflow. It's important that we track this part right here. And let me just kind of capture it on this. Okay. Let's see. Right down here we have just a little bit of this effect happening. Okay. Over here, you see these smaller clouds coming up and erupting and reaching up, these pop-ups that blossom out in front of the squall line. Those are the ones that are dangerous, these little pop-ups. And right now they don't have much energy. But every once in a while, one of these little pop-ups gets pretty strong. And when it blends in with the main storm front line, we get a tornado sometimes. So you see how they blend in, and they also intensify the main squall line. All right, this flow, what I'm trying to show you here. All right, the main branch is coming across this way, but this flow is coming up to meet it. All right, so we have that southern fetch of moisture coming up to meet that cold front and blossoming right, like anticipating it and blossoming right out in front of it. Okay, and that's the dangerous scenario that we don't like to see, that kind of setup here. And that's what we're seeing, is this moist air coming up, meeting that cold tail. See this big streak coming through there? And then all right, finally it splits here by convection. You're going to see this tail probably flare up right around here, and then this also flare up as it dives south. This will continue to probably go across Tennessee here. Yeah, so Tennessee tomorrow, it's already the morning hours right here, right now. So going through the noon time, oh no, that's the morning through the noon. There's convection, and then nighttime, Tennessee. And then hopefully it does this and breaks off and diminishes, and we just see these last little petering out, tailing pockets, and then it goes just rain from there on out. That'll be the morning of the noontime, the 30th. Morning of the 30th, noon, convection. Now we'll have convection pop back up again, but way up here in Minnesota, this southwest corner of Minnesota right there. Here we are. This was convection. Remember, this is where the sun goes down. We see our cloud tops kind of reach their highest. There's convection, and then another nighttime event going up into northern Minnesota. And you see these speckled little spots all the way down here? That could turn out to be much like what I just showed you here on my radar app. Okay, it could possibly grow into another QLCS like that with these pop-ups. All right, everybody pray that it calms down and this isn't the case, but that would be another nighttime event on the 30th. So we've got two different events right here. We got this one. There's the morning, noon, night. Okay. Then we go into the next day, morning, noon, afternoon, night. So we have two events in the next 2 days, two more nighttime events. Then it clears out the morning of May 1st, May Day, and clears out. There's the noontime, convection. Look at this low just starting to dive in there again by convection. And here we go, nighttime, May 1st. So another nighttime event, 3 now. May 1st, and we're talking back down here into Oklahoma. Don't let this weird configuration throw you off too. These things travel this way and make tornadoes at different angles. It's getting very complex for the weather chasers. They're actually getting frustrated themselves and pulling their hair out going, wait. This is too much. We're seeing too many different effects, too much all at once. And a lot of them are pulling back. Some people didn't go chasing today and didn't do it because they're exhausted. And here we go again. So, noon the 1st, convection, nighttime event, nocturnal on the 1st there. Morning of the 2nd, here's another morning event. Noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 3rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 4th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 5th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 6th. Look at this coming into the west coast over here. They're getting a little sneak attack coming in there. Boom. Come hit the Bay Area from the back door there. All right, so here we are, morning of the 6th, noon, convection, nighttime. That's the first night where we haven't had any nighttime activity is on the 6th. Morning of the 7th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 8th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 9th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 10th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 11th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 12th, noon, convection, nighttime. Still there. Morning of the 13th, kid, Lord. All right, I'm not doing that anymore. That's enough. That's way out in the future. Don't look at that, you guys. That's too far out in the future. All right, this next storm continuing on through tomorrow, and then this event up in Minnesota, and then the next round right there is our next few things to pay close attention to. All right, we're seeing weather services falter. We're seeing weather apps going down. It's important that we take notes a little bit on when and where, what time frame to expect certain things. Also, what's going to be important now, too, is you yourself are going to have to learn to read the sky and read the clouds yourself and know what an approaching storm front looks like, what to look for. And when you see certain effects starting to happen around you and you don't have an app, you don't have the NOAA weather radio, you're just going to be relying on your senses and what you see out, observe. So it's going to be important to start studying weather, understand how it works, learn to read the sky in your area, okay, because soon you won't be able to rely on weather forecasts or even mine, because this stuff it's getting very volatile, as you can see it intensifying. All right, so regardless of where you live, anywhere on the world, it's a good idea to learn how to predict the weather in your area, follow the weather in your area, track it over the course of a day. Yeah, some of you work during the day. During your break, peek out the window. Is there some convection going on in the sky? Is there any kind of propagation going on? It started off a blue sky when you went to work, but there's a few puffy ones forming down the valley, or what's going on? Evaluate your skies, throughout the course of your day. And it's good to, stay up to date on your weather. Can't just always rely on the weather radio at the last minute, or weather sirens in your area that go off at the last minute. Can't stipulate that enough. Cannot. I want to jump up and down and scream and just pound my fist on the table to put the sense of urgency into it that it deserves, but I'm trying to stay calm here. Now, real quick here, this has also got this flow. You see this flow coming up and meeting this cold line that's coming down. So this effect is going to continue to happen as this easy does it there, cowboy. As this long line continues to go across like that. So we're going to continue seeing that activity. All right, that was it for all that. Oh, did we do the volcanoes? Do you guys even feel like doing volcanoes tonight? You do? Really? I'm going to let you out of class early. You guys just want to learn, huh? That's good. That's good. I like that. Eager for knowledge. It's good. Okay, here it comes. Oh, no. Is this what I think it is? Wow. So, little seismograph showing the increase of seismic activity beneath the Coronal Dome area. I believe Shibaloosh. Anyways, Shibaloosh, an elevated seismic activity began to occur at the volcano on April 24th. Boasa in Costa Rica. Nothing. Sangay, nothing. Come on. There we go. All right. Reventador, 14,000 feet. Sabancaya, 23,000 feet. Explosive activity continues. Buenos Aires warned about a volcanic plume or ash plume that rose up to 23,000 feet. Okay, I would love to have my scroller. Oh, you're welcome, Shastina. Okay, let's see. Our local police department said over the scanner yesterday that the National Weather Service was late in reporting storms, that it wasn't reliable. Yeah. Well, uh, boy, they had their hands full. Uh, these mesoscale discussions that they have to have, these top weather guys get together while looking at the radar and start discussing what they're seeing approach like downstream and what to kind of expect in the future. And it's hard because they don't know about the added energy when the sun strikes us and we're getting a geomagnetic storm at the same time we're having a storm. It causes the bombogenesis. It causes the clouds to react a little bit more violently than usual. We get a little more severe convection. On as far as convection goes, it's more intense, and we have more intense convection. Add the particles in the air and more intense convection with more water in the air already. Oh boy, it's just like one big wring out your sponge in the sky. All right, so is this really ever going to work? I was trying to click on this one, please. 28th. Hello. All right, here we go. Chevaluge, big old ash plume going up to 15,000 feet. Ebu. Where? 6,000 feet off of Emu. Flight level 6,000 feet right there. Semeru, 14,000. Another big blast out of Java there. Dukono, 7,000 there. Tofua on the Tonga Islands, a new eruption commenced at the volcano. The volcano's caldera. Popocatépetl, 20,000 feet. Fuego, no VA. Nevada del Ruiz. This is one that's always kind of on the semi-active, that it's always active anyways. So it's semi-active, 20,000 foot blast. Explosive activity continues. I would say that's explosive continues. Washington warned about a volcanic ash plume that rose to an estimated 20,000. Blah, blah, blah. Sangay. Reventador, 14,000. Okay, here's your list right here. Etna was blowing smoke rings with this new round of pressure. Okay, I want you to think about the Schumann, and you saw it grinding. We have our max pressure going on right now. Expect to see some of these possibly. They're on this yellow list, hopping over and going fully active. Expect any one of these active ones to remain active or become more active, have a big blast or a bigger, higher eruption. But this side, these yellow on the yellow list here, any one of these could go active, as well as any new one that's not on the list. Now here we are at Nevada del Ruiz on the semi-active list. 20,000 is only semi-active. Shit, if 20,000 is semi-active, I hate to see a fully active blast out of Nevada del Ruiz. Because 20,000 feet, it belongs over here. I'm being sarcastic. I always do this, but Nevada del Ruiz belongs over here. We all know why. I'm not trying to fool you. I'm not trying to lie to you. We just saw 22,000 feet, and they do that every time. Okay, plus this one could possibly hop over there. This one wrong in East Java, Raung, however we want to pronounce it. Java has been our point of release of pressure, so expect to see this one possibly hopping over to the other list. Recon de Vieja, here's that Tofua in the Tonga Islands. That's out by Fiji, out in that region. Expected that one could possibly hop over. I always say Ulawoon because it had the biggest blast. Well, not anymore, but I'm gonna keep saying it so I jinx it and it doesn't happen. All right, but never forget this one could always surprise. And we have volcanoes in Reykjavik still going on. Don't forget we have volcanoes down in Antarctica. Okay, so volcanoes, weather, earthquakes. We did our geophysics. We did our astrophysics. You guys ready for some metaphysics, dude? Hot like chaw metaphysics, dude. No, it's not what you thought it was. Metaphysics is something different. Spiritualism is not found in a crystal. It's found in the spirit inside of you. You have a spirit in you, don't you? Don't you? Some of you do. Kind of wondering about some of the other ones, all right? Anyways, for the moment, we don't need to pop that one up yet. Let's just dive around a little bit. It's always kind of fun to look at other stuff here for a minute. Pull up this lion face. Okay. And then you can see that one. Let's go back to the other one right there. That one seems to come out a little bit better. Okay. You guys are practicing looking at the clouds. You're recording stuff. Okay. Go through your stuff and look at it. I try to look at a lot of your stuff as well. There's only more time in a day. And if I could just maintain my composure and hold more of thoughts together would be wonderful. Okay, real quick, I was looking at this one here. Very interesting what happened in here. Okay, I'm praying, and I'm not sure when the camera is going to go off. I'm over here just praying, doing my thing or whatever, and the camera set every 10 seconds or something like that. It takes a shot, and in here, won't let me zoom in any further. There's a face at the top of that one. I'm gonna have to get my other computer and see if I can run this through the filter, because I saw there's a little face right up in there on that one. Here's another one. I don't know what was in this one, but just this green shaft. And, every once in a while, you'll catch a dust particle flying through there. And there is a clear distinction between this activity right here and a dust particle. Okay, totally different. Oh, yeah, that's the one. All right. That V-shaped object coming out of there, right? I'm standing in front of the camera, I'm saying my prayers, I'm just letting it squeeze off that picture, every 10 seconds or so, and out flies that V-shaped object, all right? So, when yesterday we were talking about living in victory, spiritually living in victory, all right? That would be seeing that the activity in the clouds, realizing that you caught up in the clouds, that you're talking to me in the air over cyberspace, over Wi-Fi, and we were talking about living victoriously, and there's a good V for victory right there, because during this prayer, like right right after this thing flew out, or maybe right when I was thinking, thank you, Lord, for we do have victory in the end. Even though this battle is hard and it's painful and it's irritating, and sometimes it's just downright exhausting. You get sensory overload. We need a good reminder that it's because we're guaranteed victory. Okay, and that V right there, just good reminder for you to remember we have victory. I wanted to come back up right to where's the other ones? Oh, I think it's that one right there. Maybe we do that one right there. Is that glaring on the camera or what? Huh. Not showing up on the lens very well. There was something else I was gonna try to guys here. Oh, where, Lord? Oh, you want to go right there? Okay. So I guess we're going to that one then. All right, so while we're looking at that right there, important to understand what we're looking at here. Why is everything so bright on my camera here? No. All right, good enough. So while we're looking at that, I was talking about okay, so today I was having a little spiritual versus the physical battle, right? You're in the physical world, you're having all your ordeals and stuff, and you're trying to take a break and get a break from the physical world, and you reach for the spiritual world for a little bit of peace and a moment of comfort, right? But me, today was a really hard day. I think you guys understand what today was, right? Passover. But I was having such a rough day, spiritual warfare going on at such an intense level that I had to take a physical break the opposite way around. Instead of taking a break from the physical world and relaxing in the spiritual world, I'm at spiritual warfare. You guys get peace. Me, I'm in spiritual warfare, and it gets so intense that I have to reach back to the physical world to take a break from it, to get a break from this stuff. All right? So sometimes maybe you don't want to watch every episode, and if you don't feel like showing up one night, that's okay, because sometimes you need a break from this as well. It can get intense, and I don't know why my camera is acting like this. All right, that's better. All right, so for me, I had to reach back to the physical world today and put something stupid and mundane on TV or on the phone or on the internet or anything to take my mind off of the spiritual warfare. Okay? So, and then what's hard is I'm trying to get us break from the spiritual warfare, but I'm reaching back to the physical for that break. Well, you can't find it in the physical because that's where there's even more warfare. So now what are you supposed to do? And it becomes sensory overload. Okay? And if you guys are starting to experience some sensory overload from both the spiritual and the physical world, you're in this tug of war whether you like it or not. You are in a spiritual and physical tug of war, because I am. Okay. And where's my light? I need more light here. Read these notes. So I tried to take a break from the spiritual warfare by going to look for something funny and lame and mundane, and it worked for a minute. It distracted me. I used it as a distraction, much like you guys should be turning to praying. I turn to praying a lot and just get afflicted even more. So sometimes I have to take a break. I reach back to the physical for a distraction, but then it's the lies and deception of the physical that's not working, right? So I literally had to, I realized through a lot of my work through, AA and different programs and institutions that I've been through and stuff, when that's starting to happen and you're getting sensory overload and you're getting irritated, it's because you're hungry or you're tired. And it's a good idea that if you're getting exhausted from the spiritual warfare and the physical versus spiritual warfare, the tug of war there, and you need a break, sometimes it's good to lay down, take a nap, or eat something. Okay? Most of the time when we're irritable, it's because we're angry or we're tired, we're exhausted, right? So, and that also means if this segment of the show or any segment of my show makes you feel spiritually exhausted, you need to take a break from this show as well. Okay, for your own mental health as well. If you're experiencing that sensory overload. Okay, because I went through it pretty hard today. I mean, excruciatingly painful, hard sensory overload that you guys would probably shoot yourself in the head because you can't stand it. You want to not be stuck in your skin because of all the different senses. The spiritual warfare plus the physical warfare. Both of those warfares fighting each other in warfare, spiritual versus the physical. So it can get very exhausting when you recognize you're being easily irritated. Okay, I was easily irritated again today with the cell phone and the people driving while on their cell phones. It's very irritating to me. It's hard for me to see how a grown adult male who should know better is driving down a valley with a crosswind of 60 miles an hour that blows you right out of your lane. But no, gotta be on the phone. So yeah, I'm dealing with my issues there, and after a while, it can become physically, spiritually, emotionally exhausting. You get the spiritual overload, the physical overload, the sensory overload. Sometimes it makes you irritable and angry, and that's because you're hungry and you're tired. And sometimes, like today, it got so bad, instead of putting a gun to my head and pulling a trigger to stop all the noise and all the sensory overload, I closed my eyes, said a prayer, and took a nap. I purposely just stopped everything. Everything had stopped for a minute. I got to take a nap. So, when you reach that point, because you probably will, it's okay. Recognize it when it happens. Oh boy, this is what's happening. I recognize that Brian was telling me I was going to feel like this. I'm getting irritable. I'm getting tired. I'm hungry. go home, eat something, take a break, take a nap, and like we're doing with the salvaging of a day, okay, take a little nap, a power nap. I mean, maybe an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. You don't want to take too long of a nap. It's just a power nap. It's to get the chemicals in your brain to induce a little bit of sleep, a little bit of REM, the chemicals that go through your brain right there, relieve some of the stress. So when you wake up, you don't feel so bad. You're like, oh, okay. Now, where was I? Let's move forward. Okay. Even though we talk about don't grow weary and don't grow tired, that means spiritually. Okay. We do get physically and emotionally tired and exhausted as well. So it's important that you recognize it. And it's important that you recognize that every day you are in spiritual warfare, baby. You got 1 foot in one realm and 1 foot in the other. And you're tackling life like a gangbusters now. Right? And being a spiritual warrior can be exhausting, you know. What we do makes what the Navy SEALs and the Marines do look like playing Army men. Oh, that's not the one. Okay, because this can be very trying and taxing on your mind. So let's look at something really cool real quick here. A little bobcat that we have. We live on a transition zone between desert and mountains. Please play this, Lord. I popped this up so we could play this. And this is not a house cat. This is a different kind of cat. It's all, look at its behavior. It jerks its head around, very skittish. But look at that. It'll come back into focus here. See that little butt? No tail on that butt. That's a real bobcat. Okay, so even when said nature, you go out to nature to get a break from the spiritual warfare, sometimes that doesn't work either. All right, you're looking at a beautiful deer and it's still making you mad, because that can happen. You could be trying as hard as you can to find peace and it's not coming. The only thing you're getting is more irritation. That's when it's time to, eat something, lay down, take a little nap. You see this angel here at the foot of my bed? That wing comes up and goes back down. Here's the head area. Another wing comes up and goes back down. This wing over here reaches over and pulls something off my head and flicks it away. Does it a second time, grabs something and flicks it away. Little halo forms over his head and it shoots to me, but it bounces off of me, and so he hits it back with his wing. All right. A little bit of angel at the foot of your bed. That's real. It's not what Hollywood portrays. That's the spiritual realm showing up on film. The room is totally dark. There's not a light on in that room, and I took my camera out and started taking pictures at the foot of my bed. Okay, so nice little images of angels, kind of remind you spirit realm's real. Here's some angels bowing over my sleeping kids. We captured them first, hovering over the kids on the couch there, so it's good to see these healthy spiritual images as well. Remind you angels in heaven are real. Remind you that's your destination, by the way. It's just that you got to endure this spiritual warfare down here to graduate and get there. All right, and let's come back over to here. There's a better image to read too. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. My nap wasn't long enough. I've only had like a couple hours of sleep in a few weeks now, so. And that's why I need to take power naps too myself, because I work at a different pace. I work different hours than most people do. Like 24/7 of them. Alright, let me get some lights set up here. I had some good stuff for you. What was the other thing on the notes? Yeah, your spiritual tug of war that you guys are in. Spiritual realm versus the physical realm. You're got 1 foot in one and one in the other. No. That's the wrong stuff. Why did it... Hang on. I guess I picked the wrong... Where are we? Oh, yeah, we can do it this way. Let me pull up this one right there. I forgot. Just get that. Play it, please. Mr. Brad, yeah. Play it. Come on, you can do it. There we go. All right. There's my face right there out by the moon. Actually, we're going to do it like that for a second. All right. There's an object out by the moon that's been, well, affecting all kinds of stuff. People have been capturing it. And this guy went and bought a camera so he could get all nice and zoomed in on my face. Okay. So, I am ever so near you, hovering over your shoulder, reading every thought. People think that thoughts are fleeting and worthless, but yours are precious to me. I smile when you think lovingly of me. My spirit, who lives within you, helps you to think my thoughts. So as your thinking goes, so goes your entire being. So let me be your positive focus, and when you look to me, knowing me as God with you, you experience joy. And this is according to my ancient design when I first crafted man. Modern man seeks his positive focus elsewhere. They find their positive focus in sports, sensations, acquiring new possessions, shopping. Okay. Advertisers and advertising capitalize on the longing of people for a positive focus in their life. So advertisers capitalize on your longing for positive focus. These thieves come along and capitalize on that. Take your money. Yeah, these advertisings capitalize on the longing of people for a focus in their lives. I planted that longing in human souls, knowing that only I could fully satisfy it. So delight yourself in me, and let me become the desire of your heart. My peace is like a golden shaft of light shining on you continuously. During days of bright sunshine, it may blend in with your surroundings, but on darker days, my peace stands out in sharp contrast to your circumstances. See times of darkness as opportunities for my light to shine in transcendent splendor. Okay, so try to see these times of darkness as opportunities for my light to shine. I am training you to practice peace that overpowers darkness. So collaborate with me in this training and do not grow weary or lose heart. Okay, you can take a nap. That's different. All right, don't grow spiritually weary on me. All right, put that one back up. That other one just wasn't doing all right. Why is all my lighting off today? Oh well. Let me see what else I got there. That was. When you're kind of looking at that, you just take a deep breath every once in a while. I forgot to do mine before the very beginning here. Hopefully, this brings you peace, because peace be with you. Ever since the resurrection, this has been my watchword to those who yearn for me. Peace be with you. As you sit quietly, let my peace settle over you and enfold you in my loving presence. To provide this radiant peace for you, I died a criminal's death. Now receive my peace abundantly and thankfully. It is a rare treasure, dazzling in delicate beauty, yet strong enough to withstand all onslaughts. So wear my peace with real dignity, and it will keep your heart and mind close to mine. Yeah, give yourself fully now to the adventure of today. You walk with peace, peace be with you. Now give yourself fully to the adventure of each day. Walk boldly along the path of life. All right, no more tiptoeing, no more walking on eggshells. You can walk boldly along the path of life, relying on your ever present companion. You have every reason to be confident now, because my presence accompanies you in all the days of your life and onward into eternity. You have every reason to be confident now. Okay? Even though you didn't fly up into the air like Hollywood and wasn't on some ship or whatever, you can walk boldly and you can be confident because my presence now accompanies you. Don't give in to fear or worry. Those are the robbers of abundant living. Trust me enough to face problems as they come, and rather than trying to anticipate them, fix your eyes on me, the author and perfecter of your faith, and many difficulties on the road ahead will vanish before you even reach them. Okay? Did you hear me? Many of the difficulties on the road ahead will vanish before you even reach them. When you fix your eyes on me, many of your difficulties on the road ahead will vanish before you reach them. So, whenever you start to feel afraid, remember, I am holding you by your right hand. Nothing can separate you from my presence. You're stuck with me. And I love you. All right, now. No, that's next lesson. Oh, yeah, that I need to go with that right there. Okay, so let's pick up here. So when you're feeling down, oh, no, feeling weighed down. I guess, let me put it this way. You are feeling weighed down by a plethora of problems, both big and small. I was going to ask the question, are you feeling weighed down? But you are feeling weighed down by a plethora of problems, both big and small. They seem to require more and more of your attention, but you must not give in to those demands. When the difficulties in your life feel as if they're closing in on you, break free by spending quality time with me. You need to remember who I am in all my power and glory. Then, humbly bring me your prayers and petitions, and your problems will pale when you view them in the light of my presence. They will pale in comparison. You can learn to be joyful in me, your Savior, even in the midst of adverse circumstances. Rely on me, your strength, to make your feet like the feet of a deer, enabling you to go to the heights. The heights. And I put my heights notes. Where'd my heights notes go? Was right there. Oh, darn it. I have one more that is supposed to go to the heights. Where did it go? Okay, I guess we're... I lost that one, huh? Oh, I'll find it here. Here it is. Okay, so pick off here. I make your feet the feet of a deer, enabling you to climb to the heights, enabling you to, ascend that mountain to the heights. And then I enable you to stand on the heights. This term, the heights, can refer to a number of things. Taken literally, it means that something is physically very high up. This is appropriate language for describing mountaintops or uppermost floors of a skyscraper. Taken figuratively, the term can refer to euphoric pleasure or something quite different. Something quite different in weighty experiences of responsibility. Okay, very heavy responsibility, very heavy, very not detrimental, but very consequential responsibilities. So literally, the heights are a physical place. Figuratively, it's a euphoric pleasure or a weighty experience of responsibility. If you aspire to reach the heights, especially the high places of achievement and recognition, be prepared to shoulder the responsibilities that accompany that success. Okay? So if you got lofty goals, prepare to shoulder those lofty responsibilities. Okay? It's basic, simple stuff. If you aspire to reach the heights, especially the high places of achievement and recognition, be prepared to shoulder the responsibilities that accompany that success. But don't forget to enjoy the satisfaction of accomplishing good things with me, through me, and for me. Okay? So you're going to bear the shoulder responsibilities, but don't forget the satisfaction of accomplishing. Accomplishing with me, through me, for me, okay? But accomplishing. Because you are mine, you can stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around your waist and the breastplate of righteousness in place now. All of my teaching is absolutely true, for I am the truth. And this provides another firm foundation for you. It's a rock solid foundation on which you can stand and build. Why does it keep bumping when I get to that part? All right. I want you to look at that and all this stuff that we covered last night. Now, because you are mine now, you can stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around your waist and the breastplate of righteousness now in place. All of my teaching is absolutely true, for I am the truth. And this provides the firm foundation for you, the rock solid foundation on which to stand, and the foundation on which you can build. Remember, we were talking about building as well. My perfect righteousness has been credited to your account forever. You have an account. You didn't even know. You have credit on this account. This righteousness account. My perfect righteousness has been credited to your account forever. So no matter how much trouble you encounter, this righteousness can keep you standing on the heights. Whew. That was a lot. You guys get all that? Okay, now back up to... Now, we were also talking about being here on Earth is walking through the valley of the shadow of death. We're all gonna die. No one gets out alive, so we are walking in faith on this planet, which is the shadow of the valley of death. Okay? So, now with all this information, do not dread walking through the valley of the shadow of death. My radiant presence now shines brightly in that deep, sunless valley, strengthening, encouraging, and comforting you. And since I never sleep, maybe a power nap every once in a while, I am able to watch over you constantly. And moreover, no valley is so deep and no pit so dark that I cannot see all the way to the bottom of it. So even if you wander from me at times and fall into the slimy pit, you can count on me to come rescue you. When you cry out to me, I lift you out of the mud and mire and set your feet back on the rock, back on that foundation again, giving you that firm place to stand again, that firm place to grow from again. Find comfort in my commitment to help you, even when you slip up, okay? Find comfort in my commitment to help you, okay? It's my commitment to help you that you should find comfort in as well. These readings, my notes, my experiences, how I figured all this stuff out, these spiritual achievements that both you and I are going through. Whenever you start to feel afraid, remember, I am with you. I've promised I will never leave you. I myself go before you while you are walking through the valley of adversity. Okay? So don't dread walking through the valley of the shadow of death. no valley is so deep, no pit so dark, I can't see to the bottom of it. And even if you wander away from me at times and fall into that pit, you can count on me to rescue you. Cry out to me. I lift you out of the mud and mire. I give you a firm place to stand. Okay? My commitment is what comforts you, should comfort you. I'm committed. So, whenever you start to feel afraid, remember, I am with you. I have promised I will never leave you, and I myself go before you. That's how I got all these notes. And while you are walking with me through the valley of adversity, keep these words of comfort flowing through your mind. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Does it make sense now? Do you guys know why you can walk through this valley and fear no evil now? Because I am now with you. Do not dread walking through the valley. I'm taking care of you. Sometimes you feel alone and vulnerable and exposed to the elements of the fallen world. And when you're feeling this way, stop and remind yourself, Jesus is taking care of me. This little reminder can comfort you and help you relax. It draws you back from obsessing about the future and trying to figure out or orchestrate what will happen. Okay? I'm taking care of you. Jesus, remind yourself, Jesus is taking care of me. It's a reminder that can comfort and help you relax. Quit trying to figure out and obsessing about the future, how this is all what you think it is. Relax. Breathe. Think the phrase in your head. Jesus is taking care of me. Okay? Inflections on certain words. You can't just say, yeah, Jesus is taking care of me. Yeah, Jesus is taking care of me. No. You have to mean it. Jesus is taking care of me. This reminder can comfort you and help you relax. It draws you back from obsessing. Okay? So, when circumstances are confusing and you don't know which way to proceed, remember that you are in my watch care. I know everything about you and your situation, and I also know the future. A child in a good family with adequate resources does not need to know how his parents will provide for him tomorrow, next week, or the next year. You are in the best family imaginable, and my resources are abundantly unlimited. So bring me all your needs and concerns, entrust them to me, and live confidently. Then go and live confidently. Bring me your needs and your concerns, entrust them to me, and then just go live confidently. Go live confidently as a child of the King of Kings. Live confidently, relax, and rejoice, for I am taking good care of you. I had the other one. No. Lord help me, where did it go? Okay, we did the heights. Oh, yeah. Ooh, this is all going into another one. You guys want to do some more here? I got a little bit of time. If you want to stick around for a little bit, I got maybe 4 or 5 more to go. Let me take a sip and just start speed reading here. No, slow down and read it right. All right. My ways are mysterious and unpredictable, but they are good. And when you look at world events with so much rampant evil, it's easy to feel fearful and discouraged. You cannot comprehend why I would allow such cruelty and suffering. The difficulty lies in the fact that I am infinite and you are not. Many things are simply beyond your comprehension. I think you guys are seeing it now, though. When you see the spiritual warfare, you understand what evil is for. It's to make the good grow strong. So there is a purpose for it, okay? So now you kind of can comprehend why I allow such cruelty and suffering. Okay, the difficulty lies in the fact that I'm infinite and you're not, but you're starting to see things my way. Many things are simply beyond your comprehension, but do not despair. When you reach the limits of your understanding, trusting me will carry you onward. So affirm your trust in me through silent or spoken prayers, but stay in communication with me. Okay? It could be silent, it could be spoken prayers. It just stay in communication with me. Okay? Don't get trapped in a posture of demanding to know why. Quit demanding to know why. That is the wrong question. The right questions are, how do you want me to view this situation? And what do you want me to do right now, Lord? So, instead of, even if I told you why, you wouldn't believe me anyway, so quit asking why and just start going right to the questions of, Lord, how do you want me to view this situation? And Lord, what do you want me to do right now? Okay, because you cannot change the past. So start with the present moment and seek to find my way forward. Trust me, one day, one moment at a time, and do not fear, for I am with you and I will strengthen you and help you. I got doubtfulness. Seek to live in the present with me. Your life is a gift from me, consisting of millions upon millions of moments. So, seek to live in the present. That's like right now. With me. Remember, your life is a gift from me. Okay, your consciousness, your awareness, being in this skin suit that you're experiencing, what you call life, is a gift from me, consisting of millions upon millions of moments. These countless tiny gifts, each little clip of time, all right, these countless tiny gifts can easily slip away unnoticed and unused. The best remedy to such wastefulness is to fill your moments with my presence. You can begin each day connecting with me by praying a thank you. Thank you, Jesus, for another precious day of life. Anything like that. Thank you, Lord, for another day. All right. And then also, Lord, help me stay aware of your presence. So thankfulness keeps you linked to me and anchored in the present. Worry, on the other hand, pulls you into the future where you wander in barren places of uncertainty. You can always return to me by whispering, Lord, help me. So, to live consistently in the present, seek to become more grateful. Pretty easy. How do you live in the present? By being more grateful. Oh yeah, I could see how that would work. So, to live consistently in the present, seek to become more grateful. Look around you. Search for the many little gifts that I shower upon you, because everything is a gift. Everything is a blessing. When you start when you start seeing your life, that every single thing that is a blessing, you're just gonna you'll really live fully. Okay. Anyways, so to live consistently in the present, seek to become more grateful. Look around you. Search for all the little blessings, all the many gifts I shower upon you. As you thank me for the blessings, go into detail. Express yourself enthusiastically. This will increase your gratitude. What will increase your gratitude? Expressing yourself enthusiastically. Expressing yourself enthusiastically will increase your gratitude and enhance your ability to grasp how truly blessed you really are. How truly blessed you really are. The joy you have in me is independent of your circumstances. In my presence is fullness of joy, and you are never separated from me. So search for me as you go along your pathway each day, looking for the treasures and the blessings. When you do that, I delight in disclosing myself to you. You go looking for me. Well, I delight in disclosing myself to you, don't I? Sometimes I communicate with you in grand, unmistakable ways that are labeled coincidences. Yeah, I communicate with you in grand, unmistakable ways that everybody calls coincidences that are clearly the work of my hand. Coincidence or the work of my hand? Yep. Therein lies our problem. I communicate to the world in grand, unmistakable ways, and they all label it coincidences when it's clearly the work of my hand. At other times, I display my unseen presence in subtle ways. These are often so personal to you, and I'm talking to you here at this channel, even on replay, because I know you. So I display my unseen presence so personal to you that others wouldn't even notice them. Yet these subtle signs can be a source of deep, intimate joy. You're driving along and a white dove flies in front of you and captures your attention. Yep, that was me. That's those little subtle signs that you can smile, know it was me, can be a source of deep, intimate joy. Every little thing is from me. When you start seeing it that way, it will be a source of deep, intimate joy. So these little personal things that you like in your life and you see them pop up, yeah, it was just for you. It was just for you. It couldn't have been for anybody else, right? So it had been just for you. Because you're personal, you're unique. I attentive to your unique qualities, each person's own unique ones. So I display my unseen presence in subtle ways, and the more attentive you are, the more you can find me in the details of your day. So try to stay alert and be on the lookout for me. Fill your mind and heart with scripture, where I reveal myself most clearly. You can find my character. Okay, I reveal my character in the scripture. Let my promises permeate your thinking and keep you close to me. So listen to my voice. I know you and you follow me. I give you eternal life, and no one can snatch you out of my hand. So rejoice. I think that was it for tonight. Yeah, I think I'm closing with that one right there. Because we got emergencies coming down the pike again. So one more time, look at that. Listen to my voice. Fill your mind and heart with Scripture. That's where I reveal myself. Let my promises permeate your thinking. Let those promises permeate your thinking and keep you close to me. My sheep know my voice. So listen to my voice. I know you, and you follow me. I give you eternal life, and no one can snatch you out of my hand. That should give you guys some comfort and some sweet dreams tonight, okay? I love you guys. I miss you guys. I know you're going through a lot, and it's hard. And keep practicing, even though it's hard. And if you get to that point of exhaustion or you're getting irritable, and for some reason, you're doing all the praying and you're doing everything and it's working, but you keep getting tested and you finally just, it's okay. Take a nap, eat something, recharge your batteries. Okay? And just when you're recharged, hop back into the battle. It's spiritual warfare, and it's every day. Okay? And we're also, not only are we at spiritual warfare, but we're also spiritual versus physical warfare. So we're trying to keep our positivity going while battling being in the spiritual versus the physical, one leg in, one leg out. You got multiple battles going on in different dimensions now, right? You're doing more than one thing at a time. You're fighting in the physical, you're fighting in the spiritual, and you're fighting the spiritual versus physical tug of war as well. You guys are badass. You know that? Did you know that? You are actually doing all that stuff here at this channel. Technically doing it right here, right now, at this channel. So it must be true then. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, you guys. The fact that you are actually here doing the real work with the real teacher right now. You're taking these principles and applying them. You're seeing now the spiritual versus physical. You guys are transcending your circumstances and finding peace. And when you don't, sometimes it's a matter of, well, okay, maybe you're hangry, or you're hungry or tired too. Whew. You guys are making so much progress. I am so happy for you, because these vital tools are going to come in, or they're already coming in handy. And you can see how they're going to apply here in the future, right? Right? Yeah. That's what we're doing here. Okay? Making spiritual warriors out of you guys so you can reflect me to them. You will be full of courage. You will be full of hope. You will be shining brightly, and people will notice you and want what you have. Okay, we're building spiritual warriors out of you guys. I'm the leader of the spiritual warfare department, and you're the recruits. Okay? No longer work for DOD. I'm the leader of the spiritual warfare department. Spiritual warfare department. Not your playing patty cake with some toy guns shooting some other bad kids that bunch of kids that don't believe that, that's my toy in the sandbox. We're in another battle. It's more important. And the work we do, We don't take lives. We rescue them. We save them. That's a whole nother calling that's 10 times harder. And you guys are awesome at it. So keep up the good work. I love you all. God bless you all. Get some sleep and some rest. Take comfort, even when you see stuff around the world. Remind yourself every once in a while, take a break, find some peace, comfort, strength, hope, everything. And I know that I love you. I miss you. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. And the world is finding out that I'm soon to come. Love you all. Bye.